Hi there, my name is Jeff and this is my very first YouTube video, and I'm about to start building a N-gauge layout in my loft. It's going to be based on the northeast of England, just a fictitious layout, and as I love watching YouTube videos I thought why not give it a go and make one, see if anybody was interested, see if anybody wants to watch it. There is loads of double O gauge layouts on YouTube and not so many N-gauge, so I thought this would be possibly of interest to some people, possibly not, but we'll see if anybody's interested. I'm quite lucky, I've got a huge loft area here to use. It is 5 meters that way and 2.5 meters across, so for N-gauge this should let me build a pretty impressive layout. It is not a race, it's probably going to take me years to get where I want with it. I want lots of scenery on the layout. There's a few interesting and different things hopefully, and one of the other big things for me is kind of although it's going to be fictitious, picking up on different things from the northeast where I grew up. Always been interested in railways and used to play on an old disused railway line. Don't worry, there's no tracks there anymore, growing up, so that's kind of where my inspiration came from, and then just picking out certain key things that have always interested me, such as the viaducts that we have in the northeast, Newcastle Central Station and all that kind of good stuff. From a train local perspective, diesel predominantly, although there will be a little bit of steam on here. Kind of take me back to when I was a kid and go into the North Yorkshire Moors Railway every summer. So a few hints, a lot of things like that on here as well. This is my second layout. I did have a smaller layout, also N-gauge, in my garage, which didn't take up the whole garage. It was just a small area in the garage, but the garage has been reclaimed by my other half for something new, so that meant I got the loft, which means the loft has all been insulated, boarded, and is ready for me to go basically. I have built the baseboards by myself, which I will show you in a minute, but I'm no joiner, so I wasn't going to film that because no doubt I got heaps of criticism. And just last night I finished painting the baseboards all the way around, just two different colours, grey on the bottom and blue on the top, where the back scenes will eventually go, just to seal in the wood and also just to give me a nice level playing field to start from. So I will take the camera off the tripod and I will have a little walk around and kind of show you what my ideas are going to be. It's basically going to be a DCC operated layout, with Electrofrog points, Pico Code 55 track. It'll all be operated by our Gauge Master Prodigy Advance, and we'll have a double line which will be my high-speed line to get my high-speed trains running on. It will be electrified, as is the East Coast Main Line, and then there will also be a double branch line which will go off in a separate direction off into the countryside, and we'll have a heritage station, and that will also then lead off to a coal-fired power station as well. So a couple of different things on there. I'm going to have quite a big town scene, and the town scene is going to be built above my fiddle yard. On my previous layout I didn't have a fiddle yard, which was a real pain because it meant I had to keep taking locals on and off and on and off. So this time I'm going to have a fiddle yard, and that'll probably be one of the first things I lay, along with the track that leads from the fiddle yard into the station. So let me take this off and swing it around and show you what my plans are. So here we are in the loft, and as you can see, you've just got baseboards, some insulation, not a lot else to see. So we're starting in the right hand corner of the layout. This is actually one of my widest pieces of baseboard here. It is 70 centimeters wide, and basically this is going to be the kind of industrial end of the town. So it starts here where I have these beams. If I kind of zoom out a little bit, it gives you a better idea of what those beams are. So they're going to be used as a scenic break there. So basically what will happen is you'll come through a road bridge here, and into here you'll have the TMD, kind of an industrial feel to it as well. Coming round into the start of the town, we'll have some high-rise flats and so on, and then this then leads into my station. Behind the station, raised up, we're going to have town, low relief town buildings right the way along there. This is going to be my station building, which you probably recognise. It's a scale, I can't remember the name of it now, but I will remember in a future video. And it's not finished. It's still got loads of work to do. The actual station building itself is done, and it's got people in, and it's got lights and posters, and it's pretty much ready to go. I'm really impressed with it, but it took me ages to build it. It still needs a little bit of weathering adding to it, but all in all, I'm very happy with that. Got the rest of the station behind. Now, I wanted a big station because what I want to be able to fit in here is 7 coach high-speed trains. So I can fit, basically, some people say 8, but for me, a 7 coach high-speed train in there. The town will continue along the back, and then where you come out, so you can see where I've got the cork, this is all going to be my fill yard. So it's a pretty big fill yard. It's going to be about 2.5 meters long by 50 centimeters wide. Remember, we're talking N gauge here, so that's pretty big. But I wanted to be able to store high-speed trains in there. So, and class 43 with 7 coaches is pretty long, even in N gauge, so I needed that space there. Now, what my plan to do here is, the bottom will be all fiddle yard. I'm hoping to get about 10 lanes in there at least. And then I'm going to build it up. So basically what will happen is the trains come out of the station, come along, they'll go under a road bridge or into a tunnel. It's probably going to be a tunnel at this end. And the town, which was running along the top, will move into more town, double town. But basically the idea will be, once I've got the fiddle yard in, I'm going to put kind of a lid on hinges on top of this so that I can very easily lift it up to get to the fiddle yard when I need to, and when I don't need to, we'll have a town scene on top of that. It's N gauge, so space is not a problem on this at all. Probably only going to have to go kind of about 3 inches high for my fiddle yard. My plan is to have all of my points DCC controlled. That's the plan. The price of them and money may change that, but we'll see. We'll get there with that eventually. You'll come along the top of the town scene, which will move to a field area. Not entirely sure what's going to be on the fields yet, but as you come out of the fields, we're going to come down here, and I'm going to have a little bit of a viaduct and a bit of a water scene. Now, this looks a little bit bizarre at the moment, but basically what my plan is, there'll be another backboard in here, so you won't see this area at the back. So my 2 high-speed lines will go over the top of the viaduct. Now, that viaduct obviously needs a lot of work done to it still. That is a ratio kit, Pico kit, that's been constructed, and it's had its first coat of grey primer put onto it, but it needs a lot more work doing to it yet, as you can see. We'll have a river underneath that, and what the plan is, here, where it comes out from the town, we'll have a tunnel portal here for the high-speed trains to come through, but the branch line you won't actually see at this point because it'll be hidden behind another back scene. It'll start to elevate on there, and it will eventually come out of a tunnel mouth here into the scenic area of my backboard, and the 2 high-speed lines will continue to come around. What I've got over here is a pretty big space to work with. I'm really pleased with how this worked out. I originally started doing it and it was a meter wide, and then realised that I couldn't reach the back of it. So thanks to another YouTuber's video, I rethought that and made that kind of half the size. This bit you can see here where the beams still are, that I've just kind of moved that back, but it's still pretty good. It still means I've got 75 centimeters across there. It does narrow just here because what I have there is my loft hatch, and a whole load of rubbish in the loft as well. But what I didn't want, when I had a layout in the garage, you had to climb underneath it, and I was constantly banging it with my back and knocking trains off, and so I didn't want that. So I've made it nice and easy so that I've still got 50 centimeters here to work with, so there's plenty of space there. But what I can do is I can easily get up and down into the loft, bring things up and down into the loft without covering the hatch too much, especially because we've got Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations, all that kind of good stuff up here. And so the plan is the 2 high-speed lines will come around here. They'll come very close to the hatch, but there'll be something put here to stop an embankment or something, just to stop any derailments. The 2 high-speed lines will come forward, and if you look along here, you can kind of see there's a line there where the boards join. So my 2 high-speed lines will continue down here, and then we're going to have an embankment coming up here onto the back area, and that's going to be raised, and this is going to be predominantly countryside. And over here you will have my heritage station surrounded by a small village, and then further down off on the branch line we'll have a power station as well, and then that will continue to go around until it disappears into another tunnel, which is a scenic break right back where we started, which was down here in the industrial area. So excuse the shaky hand camera work, but if I just move all the way back in the loft, you can hopefully, I'll go as far back as I can, get an idea of just how much space we've got. So we had the industrial area, TMD here, coming into the town scene with the station, low relief town coming on the back, hidden fiddle yard with a town scene on the top, town scene moving into a countryside scene, kind of outskirts of the town. And then from there we'll come out of a tunnel mouth, high-speed line coming along. My high-speed line will be electrified. In Engage it's going to be quite interesting. I've got loads and loads and loads of, somewhere under here, Dapple Cantinery, can't find them at the moment, but yeah, got lots of them. So they will be going on, but they'll probably go on quite late because they're so fragile. I don't want them to get broke. So high speed line comes out, branch lines come out behind it. High speed lines will be concrete track, and the branch line will be wooden sleepers coming around. Probably going to have a farm or something like that in this area to go past just for a bit of scenic interest. Continue to come round. Here we hit the village and station. Moving further down we go towards the power station, and then back to where we started. So I've probably rabbled on for about 15 minutes. One thing I did forget to tell you is the name of the layout. So my favourite era is kind of the mid-90s. It's the initial privatisation end of the BR area. So there'll be some BR Blue running on here. There'll be some sector stuff such as my new coal sector local, which is just there getting run in at the moment on DC, with a chip ready to go in it as well. And then we'll have kind of lots of GNER because that's my era, that's what I think of, that's what I remember growing up. And the name of the layout, the name of the town is going to be Regington, and that is a combination of my granddad's name, who got me into all things train, and the town where I grew up, where I used to play on the disused railway lines. So here we have, focus in, Regington. So that's it from me from now. I will be back with another video. Hopefully somebody will watch it. But right now I'm going to get ready to start work laying the initial section of track through the station and also the fiddle yard. So until next time, thanks and goodbye.